If you have a garage, a shop, or anything of that nature, odds are organizing is a continual foxhole that you're trying to improve. Come on, let's get after it. Regardless of your skill level, man, you got to do something to figure out how you're going to manage your stuff, right? You know, you can go to the big box store and you can buy, you know, metal shelving like the one I'm putting together now. And it doesn't require any skill whatsoever. Like, you just figure out where you want to put it, how separate you want your shelves to be, and it just all kind of clicks into place. The only thing that you might do is stuff that I do sometimes, and that's put things upside down. So you just got to pay attention. If you've never done one, read the instructions if that's what it takes. But they're super easy to do, and even a stoker can do it. Now, a shelf like this costs about $120-ish, right? So it's not overly expensive, but it's not a lot of fun, right? So this is cool. We're certainly gonna make use of this thing, but it wasn't very fun to put together. We didn't learn a lot, and I think we can do gooder. So let's do that. It doesn't take a whole lot of ingenuity. It doesn't take any skill, and it doesn't take anything that's going to help you in the future, if that makes sense, right? Now, opposed to something like this, you could build or make your own shelving. And so we're going to piece together a bench, if you will, kind of a small workbench and some storage. I don't know exactly how I want to do this. I'm just going to kind of do it on the fly. So I've got a few non-pressure treated 2x4x8s. And I have a few pressure treated 2x4x8s. Anything that's touching the ground is going to be pressure treated. And that's because I'm in a garage with a concrete slab. So, you know, a 2x4, regardless of whether it's pressure treated or not, is going to run you, let's just say $4, right? And in this case, I got a sheet of plywood 4x8. And I got some decent plywood that I'm using, and I think it ran $50. So, all in all, I probably have $75 or $80 just in materials. Now, if I wanted to, and I could have used cheaper plywood than that, for sure. And if I, you know, I'm gonna test out my new nail gun with this project. I would recommend, you know, most dudes just using screws. Maybe you don't have a nail gun, right? Most people probably don't, but maybe you have maybe you can put in a screw, right? A T25. You're going to have a few dollars of screws and whatever the tools cost you. But what I would submit, you know, something like this, we're going to end up with a lot more storage. Even though my material cost is a little bit higher than I would have, you know, preferred. You know, on one side I have a 4-foot wide shelf. On the other side I might have an 8-foot long bench, right? Does that make sense? And so I'm getting a lot more area that I can cover. And if I drew this out on paper, I could probably do a little bit better job, but you know, it just all kind of is what it is. And you know, you're going to have mistakes and lessons learned, and in that process you're going to become better at being a dude, right? At being a homeowner, at being able to fix other things because you're working through problems. In this case, I don't know what my finished product is going to look. I know I'm going to have about a 2-foot wide, a little bit over them, and 8-foot long bench with a couple legs and some support braces, and other than that, I don't know. You know, and as I look at this, I'm thinking, well, you know what I could do is have a little bit taller storage for stuff on the left and maybe a shelf on the right. So on the fly, I'm going to make some changes, and this is just all kind of what we end up with here, right? All right, so here we are. This is what we're looking like right now. Metal storage on the right, bench on the left. I think it's going to work. course, we're never done, never satisfied, but we got a lot more space here in the garage down by the house, especially for the missus. Be able to park her vehicle and be able to move about and get some stuff done. Probably gonna end up adding a fridge or a freezer here, and then some storage either off to the left here or maybe off over here. Primarily some food storage and some other, long-term, long shelf life type preps. So here's what I would submit to you. If you don't have a lot of tools, alright, so here's what I would submit to you. If you don't have a lot of space, you don't have a lot of tools, like what do? Do you go with the metal cheap system, or do you try to build something yourself? I would always submit to build it yourself. It doesn't take a lot of time to put something together, and you don't have to know what the hell you're doing. You can always look up plans and designs and see how other folks have kind of cracked the code, so to speak. And the beautiful thing about woodwork and metalwork, like almost regardless of the mistake that you make, anything can be fixed. If you build something out of square, it can be fixed. If you build something that's not plumb, it can be fixed. If you build something that's not level, it can be fixed. If you damage it, it can be fixed. So don't be afraid to make a mistake. Now maybe you're saying, Stoke, man, I don't have the tools that you have. I don't have the compound chop saw, miter saws. I don't have the cordless tools. I don't have the nail gun. I don't have all the stuff. Okay, cool, I got you. So go to but maybe you have a little bit of a budget to spend on materials, right? I would still tell you to go ahead and try to figure out how to do it yourself. Maybe there's a few tools that you can borrow from somebody, or go to a thrift store and look through the tools that they have. Like, you don't need new tools. An old tool works just the same. You don't have to use screws. You don't have to use a nail gun. You can put them in by hand, right? Save you cost you a little bit of time with your layout, and to make sure everything's going in the right direction, and cost you a little bit of time, but it's going to save you money, right? Because all you got to do is get a box of nails and a $5 hammer at a thrift store, and you're good to go. Like, go get a corded skill saw. Go find a cheap level, or just use a string to make a line, right? Although I used a lot of tools on this, I mean, you don't need to. Put some stuff in by hand. Figure it out. When you can start to figure things out, you're going to become a better craftsman at every area of your life. That's just what I think. Team, I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts and your comments down below as we all continue to master our craft and develop our tactical virtue. Appreciate you guys. Until then, you stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked. Team, if you want to master your craft and develop your tactical virtue, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so that you can stay up to date with future content. Consider becoming a channel member. It's going to give you exclusive access to content not available to anybody else. I appreciate you guys. Until then, you stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked.
We know you're up